Hey guys, so today I'm introducing you guys to a new car to the collection. This one is going to be my daily driver. So that might come to a shocker to some of you, and some of you may not. Some of you are definitely going to want me to derby this instead of using it as my daily driver, but I got quite a bit of information. I got quite a bit of information to cover in this video. So try to stay through this entire video while I explain what's going on. This is a 2009 Chevrolet Impala. Excuse the wind, guys. It just started to pick up out here, of course, when I start recording. And she's kind of rusty, but she's going to end up being my daily driver for college. And I know a lot of you were like, wait a second, that's what the Camry was for. The Camry was supposed to be your daily driver. Well, guys, I start school in mid-August, basically. It's a little bit after mid-August. And I simply just do not have time to fix the Camry. I just don't have enough time. So I would rather go get another car and try to fix that, because the entire transmission basically has to come out of the engine, and transmission possibly have to come out of the Camry in order to fix it. So as I said, screw that. I'll just go buy a cheap car I'm more familiar with, that I think I can do okay with as far as, you know, miles per gallon and stuff like that. These get pretty decent gas mileage, you know, 22, 23, somewhere around there, and you know, it's better than the 16 I was getting with the truck. The truck is officially off the road as of today. I'm about to get ready to put the plates on this and get the temporary inspection and the registration in the window. So I'm about to go take this thing for a test drive, but yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. I mean, there's not much else to say about the Camry and the truck. I mean, the truck just gets too poor gas mileage to really, I don't know what the word for it is, use. It just gets too bad a gas mileage, and with the gas prices going so far up, that it just doesn't make sense to drive that truck during college, especially when I'm not going to be using it to tow or anything. I'm simply going to be using it as a commuter. A lot of people tell me I should keep that truck, but the problem is I also need money for college, so guess what? That's what that's for. I should bring some decent money right now, and the Camry Wagon, well, that's going to sit in the tent and learn its lesson, honestly. I got a little bit more cleaning to do. I just vacuumed this thing up. I know I didn't do a great job, but you know, I don't really care. I care less about my vehicles as far as daily drivers than I do about the cars I'm selling. Obviously, I want, you know, a nice clean car for people to buy. I still prefer a clean car, so I'm going to take wipes and wipe this all down and, you know, make it at least look pretty decent. It's just a little bit dirty. It's just got dirt all over it, so I'll get that all figured out. It's got 119,000 miles on the clock. I have to pop the door back open in order for you guys to see that. 119,000 miles on the clock right there. Sorry for the flickering. I'll start it up for you guys in just a second. Yeah, this thing's pretty rusty, so it's it's rusty. I wouldn't have wanted to sell this, basically. I don't think I plan on selling this car. It's actually pretty bad. That's actually not a rust hole. They took a chain and ripped the frame right there, but it's still going to be able to pass inspection because technically it's not a rust hole. So, you know, she's rusty. She's quite rusty. It's starting to bubble out right here. So, interior's not in terrible shape. It had something explode in it because it's got like crap all over the sides, but I'll get that all cleaned up. This actually belonged to an older gentleman. He was probably about 95 when he stopped driving it, actually. He owned it since 2010. So this thing only had 16,000 miles when he bought it. This tire is junk, complete junk. It looks like there's plenty of tread in the middle still, and it's bald on the outside, and it's bald on the inside too. So what I think happened is he let it deflate too much, and it simply just wore on the outsides instead of wearing in here how it's supposed to, or evenly. It was not wearing evenly, it was wearing more on the outsides. So I think that's what happened. I also never heard of this tire brand before, honestly. V Rubber, I've never heard of it, but both front tires are junk. That one loses air constantly, has quite a bad air leak actually. This one's not in too bad of shape. It's starting to get a little bit bald. I would probably still drive on this tire, but you know, if you're going to replace one on the front, you ought to replace the other. So the backs are in okay shape. I mean, they're not great, but they're not terrible. So we'll keep those on there for now and just deal with that. This thing has the, let me go ahead and pop the hood, the 3500, the same motor that was in my 2010 actually. I'm not going to shut that door just yet. Nice headlights though. Usually these are all fogged up. I was surprised. They're actually in better shape than my 2016 Impala I had. So there's 3500, no cover on it right now. I took the cover off because we were doing some work underneath the hood here, so I took it off. Do have some type of mouse issue, and actually I think there is a dead mouse in there somewhere, because if you reach in there you can feel something and it feels bony. So I think there is a dead mouse under that intake. It kind of sucks. Prefer him not to be under there, but I'll save it for later. I don't really care, and it doesn't smell right now, so I'll let him decompose a little bit before I take him out, because it's going to be a mess if I try to take him out right now probably. Which kind of sucks, but you know, what are you going to do? This car did sit for a while because the previous owner did die. He ended up dying this past January, and I ended up acquiring the car from his son for $1,300. You may say, oh, it's not a terrible deal for this thing. Well, there's a few things that are going on with this thing that I'm in the process of fixing. Obviously the tires, gas lines. The gas lines are completely rusted out on this thing. Were completely rusted out, I should say, because now, don't mind the rust, but if you look under there, I don't know if you guys can see, you can kind of see one of them. There it is. That is a new gas line. So we got a new gas line from about right below this fender, like right about here back. I just used unions, the correct unions, and got that fixed. You know, guys, I don't want to pour a bunch of money in this car. This thing's very rusty, so yeah, that's about it. I mean, it runs great, good air conditioning. The heat doesn't work. I got to figure that one out still. I think it's a clogged heater core. I need to do a coolant flush, because I believe this to be the original coolant. And if anybody knows Dexcool, it likes to turn acidic after a certain period of time. So this coolant definitely has to get out of here very soon. I do have some Dexcool that AutoZone sells, so I'll get that in there. But let me go ahead and start it up for you guys, so you guys can hear it run. And that will pretty much be the end of this video. I mean, there's not much else to talk about. You guys have seen me with these Impalas before. You can see it starts right up nicely. Air conditioning works good. Something I forgot about these cars is how quickly these darn things heat up. They heat up quick. This thing will be up to operating temperature in a matter of only a couple minutes, or 3 minutes or so. So these things are great at warming up quickly. Terrible for the derby world, because the more your engine warms up quickly, the worse it is for demolition derby. But you know, that's the way these cars are designed to warm up. And honestly, for everything else other than demolition derby, it's actually pretty decent. So here's another thing I replaced on this thing. Just replaced it yesterday. If anybody knows what this is a vent solenoid for the evap system. Yeah, this thing wasn't working, so I was throwing a check engine light, had a large evap leak. It wouldn't stop venting, and I think the solenoid just died and it wouldn't stop venting, so I got a new one in there, and I couldn't even remove the old bracket because it was so rusted that I couldn't, so I had to put the new one on the old bracket, and cross my fingers the rest of that bracket doesn't collapse, you know, or fall apart. That's just the way it is working on rusty cars, guys. You just gotta pray. That's pretty much all you can do. But worst part is this thing looks like a really nice car. It really doesn't look to be that rusty of a car at all. I mean, I've seen these Impalas. My 2010 had rust all over the bottom of the doors, and that thing was in quite a bit better shape than this thing is. But you know, what are you gonna do? There's not much you can do. So alrighty, well, that's pretty much sums up this video, guys. So there's the new daily driver for at least a year or two. I hope to get about 2 years out of it and probably scrap it. I don't even think it's worth building this one to be a demo car, honestly. I might sell it to somebody to be a demo car, honestly. That's about the only thing that this thing would go into after I'm done with it. There's no way I'm gonna sell this thing back to the public because this thing is just so far gone underneath that I don't want anybody to have to deal with this headache of a car. Probably won't even pass inspection in 2 years. So alrighty, guys, well, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more updates on the Lumina and maybe even the Toyota Camry Wagon. I don't know. That thing kind of is pissing me off a little bit, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's a car, they break. And I'll probably make one more video on the truck, or a couple more videos on the truck, just to, you know, because I am going to put a little bit more money into it before I sell it, because it needs a new muffler, tires, possibly, an actuator for the dash, etc., stuff like that. So I know I'm just rambling here, so you guys stay tuned. Got more videos coming. Videos are going to slow down a lot after I'm in college, guys. I'm sorry, but I think that's the way it's going to be, because I'm going to actually be away from college. I'm not actually going to be close enough to commute to college. I'm going to have to stay closer to my college that I'm going to be going to. And who knows, I may even, if I get permission, because the field I'm going in is very similar to what I'm doing right now. And who knows, they might even give me permission to record, but you know, that's a far stretch. But I'll talk about that in a couple videos, or I should say quite a few more videos on, because I got a bunch of content still coming to you guys. Still got Herkimer County Fair to go to. So alrighty, well, stay tuned like I said before, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye, everybody.